Hi everyone, it's Professor Claire here, and I'm here today to teach you how to make a Zoom presentation screencast. And so what we're going to go through today is a little bit about how to set up your PowerPoints, and then also go through the mechanics of how to record and then save that particular screencast in Zoom. So let's get started. The first thing that you want to do actually before you even start your Zoom meeting to record is actually just make sure that your presentation is actually all set up and the way you actually like it. So one of the things that you would probably know is that you can add, pictures and those kinds of things, and you're probably adept at doing that. But one of the other things that you can do that's relatively new within PowerPoint is actually include online videos. So if you've got something on YouTube that you want to put in, it actually allows you to do that. So let me just show you how to do that. So when you go to Insert, you can go to Video Now, and you can actually go to Online Film. So what it does is it asks for a URL. So all you've got to do is go to the particular video that you want to show, insert that. I'm actually going to make that otherwise, and it'll insert within there. Okay, now the good thing about this is it will actually allow you to play within the presentation itself. So that means you don't actually need to flip in between share screens within Zoom, which is great. So once you've got your slides all ready, what you want to do is you want to set up a new meeting in Zoom. And from there, as usual, start your can, and that will give you your room. So what you want to do to be able to add the presentation, of course, is to share your screen. If you want to record something a little bit beforehand, is you can actually just leave it on this particular screen and press record. So as soon as you press record, and you can record that on the computer or the cloud, I generally do it on the computer, and based on that recording, it will show whatever it is you have now on your Zoom. So you can have a little bit of an introduction with your face there before you actually share screen, before you share your slides, or you could go straight into your slides, share them, and instead of recording, which I'll actually pause right now, so you could have decided to not have recording and then wait until you're all ready to go with your slides, and then based on that, you would actually start recording, or in this case, I will actually resume recording. So whenever you want, that's actually a button that you can use where you can pause or stop the recording in total if you want to. Okay. So that then allows you just to go through, and at the moment I'm just clicking through the slides. You'll notice that I'm actually able to click on particular features to get them started. So this YouTube video. And I'm also able to move the cursors this way. I can use laser pointers from within PowerPoint, okay, highlighters, those kinds of things, arrows, etc. Or I can also go up to the Zoom functions, and actually there's a function called annotate here if you've got premium, I believe, and from there you can add a lot of other things. Unfortunately, once you press annotate, it doesn't allow you to move between the screens, so I generally click off that to be able to move this way. But if you had wanted to, say for example, highlight something, maybe you could go to the spotlight, which is a little bit like a pointer, and that can help people focus on what it is that you're actually talking about. Or alternatively, you can also use an arrow. Now this might be good for groups if you wanted to particularly show that it was somebody that was pointing towards it, because if you've got somebody else that's also in the class, like a student or another presenter, they can also use that. So that's a really good function. There's a whole bunch of other things in here as well, like you could write text. Yeah. You can add drawings in there. It can be, something that covers underneath. Could be that you want to cover something from the top. And you can always either undo, erase, or what's better yet, just clear all my drawings. So that will put it back to regular. But just remember, as you want to move forward, that you need to click the annotation off to move forward. So that's most of what you need to know, I think, from within the presentation. Outside of the presentation, there's some other ways. If you didn't feel like you wanted to contain everything within your presentation, what you can always do as well when you're actually sharing screen. So if I stop share here, what you would have noticed is that I shared screen and I actually shared the PowerPoint. But another way to do it, if you want to be able to flip between screens really easily, is to actually share your desktop, and that will allow you to flip between different programs. So that's another way to deal with that. One other thing that's really useful, you can see over here I have myself here, so this can allow me to be a part of the conversation and people to see my body language when I'm actually speaking. It gives you a bit of presence and engagement. And that's normally within a box, and so if there's other people within the presentation that are presenting with you and they are speaking, they will also highlight up. Depending on whether a noise is being made, so you can flip between presenters in that way. Unfortunately, when you're sharing the screen and it's your screen, they can't actually click through the buttons, so someone will need to be in control of that, unless you stop sharing screen and your partner or group member actually starts to present theirs from their screen, and then they can move forward, which you might want to do if you're going to cut up your video anyway and they're going to record their particular part separately. Another thing to think about as well when you're sharing is, rather than actually share screen and share the PowerPoint or your desktop, you can actually go to this advanced button, and what this allows is to show your slides as a virtual background. So if we click on that and share, what it'll ask you to do is actually go to the place that your presentation is to open up your presentation. And I can do that there. Yeah, you want to allow that to access your PowerPoint, and then it'll begin to prepare slides. Oops. So there you go, and from in there, not only do you have your slides, but so if we're looking from within Zoom, you can actually see that you are a part of the screen. Now, if you want to get rid of this part here, you just easily click that to be a thumbnail so that you're not there. And then you're actually a part of the screen. One of the things that this allows for is for your background to be obscured, so it doesn't matter where you necessarily do it. It's a little bit boxy here and there, but I think it's a nice way to actually present, to allow the whole screen to be a part of your presentation. Now, something to be aware of when you are actually using it like this is that whilst it's really good for showing you like this, the functions of Photoshop, you can't actually use the functions of Photoshop. So, for instance, when you have a video in, you can't actually click through, so you would have to sort of stop sharing and share if you had a video. But considering you may be having sort of short presentations, you might not have any videos and those kinds of things in anyway, in which case this is a good option. So there's that. And that's pretty much it. Once you have made your presentation, you've shared your screen, you've gone through all your slides, all you've got to do either to get your recording is to either end the meeting, or you can actually stop the recording itself, and it will say the recording will be converted once the meeting ends. So you do actually need to complete your meeting for that to end. So you can just click end meeting for all, and you'll notice that it starts to convert. Now, it takes a little while depending on how long your particular presentation is. So it'll just convert that into an MP4. And once you've finished, that'll take you to, there's actually a Zoom file within the Zoom application sort of area, and it'll generally come up as a Zoom 0 MP4, and from there, you do it on the computer, you can start. And based on, and it should give you your MP4, or however long it is that you've actually been speaking. Hopefully that has given you the confidence to create your own screencast presentations within Zoom. Now, that can obviously be done in a group if you've got group members as a part of the meeting. You can also do it either live or obviously save it and it pre-records as an MP4. If you are using it as a pre-recorded presentation, then what you might want to do is actually embellish it a little bit more and give it a bit more oomph by then taking that MP4 and putting it into a movie making program such as iMovie or Adobe Premiere Rush. What you can do there is similar to this video, where you can do really cool intros or outros, you can do transitions, you can add some words in that fly in at particular points to emphasize points. So if that's something that you're interested in, I've actually made a couple of videos on that, so why don't you go check it out.